jákín ní gbogbo ibi tó ṣeéṣe kí afẹ́fẹ́ ìkànnì yìí máa fẹ́ dé. Ìkànnì yìí ni wọ́n pè ní ìkànnì Wo TV, níbi tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ, ìròyìn la mọ́ tú kẹ̀kẹ́ pẹ́rẹpẹ́rẹ rẹ̀, kókó ní ìwé ìròyìn gbogbo, àwọn bó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tó ṣẹlẹ̀, láàkó tó ṣẹlẹ̀ la mọ́ ń gbé yẹ̀wò. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa, a tún ti dé lónìí táàtù mọ́ tú kẹ̀kẹ́ pẹ́rẹpẹ́rẹ pàbíyú abidun àwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ gbogbo eléyìí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ káàkiri lágbàńlá ayé. Ṣé ẹ ti jókòó ọ̀rọ̀ aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu, ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso wọn láti ìgbà tán ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso títí di àákò yìí, ní tá a fẹ́ pẹ̀ kẹ́lù nìyẹn. A fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Tinubu's policy láti ìgbà tí wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso títí dìsìn. Ẹ bá a share, ẹ like, ẹ comment. A ti lọ gbé ọ̀jìmí sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀, ògbóǹtarìgì ni wọ́n, lámì ètò àwùjọ ni wọ́n dáńtọ́, wọ́n tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti jẹ mọ́ àwùjọ tàbí ìlú, a public analyst tó yẹ pé wọ́n bá fọgbà yán ga fọ́ ogbó ẹ̀ lójú pátá, níbo ló rújú sí, níbo ló yẹ ká gbé gbà, kí ló ṣe ìjọba Tinubu, kí ló ṣe ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso wà lóde báyìí, kí ni problem wa gan ní Nàìjíríà. A débi security, a sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ owó epo, a sọ̀rọ̀ nípa owó dọ́là àtàwọn nǹkan míì tó pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ jàǹtìrẹrẹ tí ni pé ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbádùn wọn dáadáa. Mi ò sọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn méjì bí kìí ṣe honourable Awósùnlé Ọlámídé tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ni adarí iléeṣẹ́ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ tá à ń pè ní Global Mind Concept àtàwọn iléeṣẹ́ mi káàkiri. Bákan náà ni wọ́n jẹ́ olùbádámọ̀ràn pàtàkì fún oríṣiríṣi àwọn tí wọ́n wà nípò ipò ńlá lónìí. Wọ́n tún wà mí pẹ̀lú wa, ẹ bá kí àwọn tó ń wà káàkiri àgbáńlá ayé.
Ẹ̀yin ará lé ẹ kúrò lẹ́. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Bàbá ṣe ń sọ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, wọ́n mọ̀ mú Yorùbá náà wọ, ẹ fọkàn kó lè kárí, torí nǹkan fẹ́ sọ yìí nítorí kó kárí gbogbo wa ni. Tinubu ti wọlé báyìí, ó ti lé lọ́dún kan. Ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ bá a ṣe ń egbìnrin ọ̀tẹ̀ ni, bá a ṣe ń pàkan nìkan rú. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí pọ́lísì aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu? Kí ló dé tí nǹkan ò gbéra bá a ṣe rò tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀? Níta rò ní pé àwa Yorùbá ló kàn. Ní orílẹ̀-èdè Senegal láìpẹ́ yìí, lánàá ni wọ́n búra fún ọmọ 44 years old kan. Ọmọ 44 years old yìí ní ọjọ́ mẹ́sàn-án pé ló fi campaign lẹ́yìn tó jáde fún prison. Ọjọ́ mẹ́sàn-án pé ó dẹ̀ dìbò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ààrẹ at age 44. Kí ló ṣe àwa lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀sìn ẹ̀yàmẹ̀yà àtàwọn nǹkan míì, ṣé kí ní ìfà tó fi wá mú tó fi jẹ́ pé gbogbo police tàwa rò pé yóò ṣe é ṣe gbogbo nǹkan ní torí Buhari jẹ́ mọ́lá náà ṣe ń jí wa gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá náà kàn tẹ̀ fọ́jú pọ̀ náà ni láyé Tinubu.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú ní kọ̀ọ̀kan
kódà
nípa àwọn adarí tí a yàn
lónìí.
Nàìjíríà a ṣetán láti yan adarí gidi, because leadership is all about competence, capacity, integrity, character, and vision. Leadership is all about capacity, competence, character, integrity, and vision. But when tabafe yan adarí Nigeria, we jettison character, we jettison integrity, we jettison vision, we adopt sentiment, tribe, religion. So, and as long as we sacrifice character, integrity, we'll continue to have the kind of leader we have in Nigeria. Because what in contemplating leader, you are there to solve problem, to lead people in the right direction, to put people on the right path, to make life comfortable and convenient for all, to provide security. But all of this will depend on the kind of vision you have and who you are
as a leader.
Because in conto lo ma gbe wo leadership. If you are corrupt, you will bring corruption to leadership. If you don't have vision, you bring confusion into leadership. So if you don't have integrity, definitely deceit will be the order of the day. But ìgbà tí Nigeria bá ṣe tán láti jettison religion, láti jettison tribe, then ojú wa máa là. But lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ sí ojú wa ó ti wà block with religion, affiliation, and where you come from. People no longer fight for what is right. They fight for who they like.
Àwọn yóò jà fún tó tọ́ mọ́ ẹni tó fẹ́ràn ni
ẹni tó fẹ́.
àwọn ló kàn
So
ọmọ wa ni.
So we need to start fighting in Nigeria for what is right, not for who we like. So who we like, irrespective of whether that person is wrong, whether that person is good, we don't care. So Nigeria society at the level where we don't care about who you are. We care about komata. Oh, the certificate komata. Otijaleri komata. As long as Omesi wa ló jẹ́,
Muslim ni,
Christian ni,
Yorùbá ni,
Igbo ni, Hausa ni. So as long as tabati lo yẹn, we can't get leader. So we are producing irresponsible leaders. People who don't take responsibility for failure, who don't take responsibility for lack of performance. In abroad, in civilized society, tó bá ti rí pé nǹkan tó yàn fún oríṣẹ́, they will resign. Here, Kenya 500 kú lójúmọ́, our leader will still be looking for who to blame.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Wọ́n lè ní, for instance, tó bá ní 200 people die in Nigeria. One year, it is 200. Past president, it was 500. You only see that in Nigeria.
Yes. Boko Haram jiyan gbe lónìí.
So you can see height of irresponsibility in Nigeria. One pa èèyàn 500, èèyàn 300. One year, government we tried. Ṣebí 10,000 náà pa. That's how we think in Nigeria. We are not in a civilized society. Èèyàn méjì péré lásán lè kú ní state kan kí ẹnìyẹn resign.
Láwọn country ńlá.
So and the reason is pé even tẹ́ bá ń bú ẹnìyẹn, àwọn tribe àwọn supporter they show nonsense. It is only in Nigeria people defend nonsense. I was somebody saying, ṣebí 2 million lo, ṣebí 30 million lo jí, ṣebí ẹ̀kan ló jí 1 billion.
Èló 52 billion tó jí.
52 billion tó jí.
Èló wá ní.
Ṣé ẹ fi compare mọ́.
Ìwọ lówó jọ lójú. Àwọn ṣẹ̀tálí kan tí wọ́n.
I understand. So that is the situation we have found ourselves. So people don't fight for what is right. People don't defend right thing again. They defend what they like.
What they like.
Èyàn tó bá ti fẹ́ ni. It does not matter bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn ní sport, bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn wà okay, bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn wà okay. They defend you with whatever it is. So tabati ni mindset yẹn, Nigeria we are going nowhere. We continue to produce leaders that we don't want. Understand? So unfortunately, we practice democracy where majority determines who leads us. And when we have a country where we have majority of fools, the wise minority, we have nothing to say. But in Nigeria now, it appears we have majority of fools who don't care, who can sell their future, mortgage their children education, mortgage their health, mortgage their security, mortgage anything for 5,000 naira food from my town. From my tribe, from where we share the same religion. So that is what is affecting Nigeria today.
Ẹ jẹ́ àwò báyìí, ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso Bola Ahmed Tinubu tó wà lónìí, ìfúnpinpin wà, oúnjẹ wọn, dọ́là wà lẹ́nu ìjọba ẹ̀ta yìí, ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn nǹkan sì wà lókè síbẹ̀. Nǹkan ò wálẹ̀, ó le koko bí ojú ẹja, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan?
Anyway, President Tinubu is someone I respect. That's the truth. But President Tinubu is someone I respect so much. Unfortunately, I think he has good intention but bad approach. He has good intention
but bad approach.
First good intention, Tony Nube, removing subsidy. We need to remove subsidy. In fact, subsidy ought to have been removed 10 years back. Subsidy ought to have been removed by Goodluck Jonathan. Unfortunately, Goodluck Jonathan does not have the courage
to
and the boldness and political will. He was booed. He was intimidated. And because he lacks the boldness that Tinubu had now. Okay? He could have removed it that time and not care. Today we'll be appreciating him for doing that. But thank God, Tinubu remove it. But Tinubu did the right thing at the wrong time.
At the wrong time.
Secondly, he floated Naira such that dollar rate will be determined by force of demand and supply. That's also a good intention at the wrong time. It's a good policy,
but at the wrong time.
Or without due diligence. I will explain. Now, let's start with the fuel subsidy. Before he removed the subsidy, he ought to analyze what is actually going on. You may have idea of what is going on as outsider, because he was never our vice president.
Yes.
He was never our president.
Yes.
He was never a minister. He may be having information from people he knows who are in power. But that is not sufficient. Because what you hear outside is not always what is happening inside. So, why? What do we spend subsidy on? How much do we spend? How do we spend it? Get all facts and look at it now. Let me remove it in this manner. But unfortunately, without having to get fact and figure, he said subsidy gone. And truly subsidy gone. But aftermath of subsidy gone, that policy today, I can call it a failed policy. Why is it a failed policy? According to NNPC, chairman now, Yari, or what's his name? Prior to President Buhari arrival, I think around April 2023 or thereabout, he said Nigeria spent around 400 billion plus monthly on subsidy. That is 400 billion plus on subsidy on monthly basis. That is for him. Now that I don't know how presidency or government will come out and say they are not paying subsidy now. Though they have not told us they are paying subsidy. But every parameter, everything around shows that government is paying subsidy. Because according to Business Day finding that I read of a recent and some other papers, it was discovered that landing cost of what we produce, crude oil. Landing cost of petrol, landing cost of petrol is around $0.something, around 0.7 or thereabout dollar. And when you calculate it in Nigeria currency, it's around $1,000, 1,000 naira. That is landing cost. Apart from all other costs that will be incurred. So it is estimated that presently petrol per liter it should be around 1,270 naira.
1,000 instead of the 620, 650,
Yes.
660 that you are buying
So
now.
so it shows finding by Business Day and other journalists shows that cost of petrol now should be around 1,270 to 1,300. Yes. Now, and we are buying it at 620, 640, 630, 650. The remaining around 700, who is paying it? Who is responsible for the remaining around 700 naira? So that finding now shows that if that finding is something to be relied on, though I'm expecting federal government or government to come and defend it and say, oh, the remaining 700 naira, this is how we are paying it. The finding now shows that currently Nigeria is paying around 907 billion every month.
907 billion.
That was Business Day finding.
Yeah, to see 400. That means we are paying more than times two.
So if we now, and the reason why we are paying so much is because our naira has lost value. We have devalued naira. So it means that while removing subsidy when we are paying 400 billion plus, and now we are paying about 900 billion. So what is the gain? And now, for you to know that something is wrong somewhere, if we are paying over 400 billion every month for subsidy, and subsidy is now being removed, it means that in excess of our more production, in excess of high price of crude oil, because before now we are now producing more now. Also, the price of crude oil has gone up. So the fact that we are producing more should be a gain. Gain number one. Price of crude oil that has gone up should be gain number two. Gain number three should now be that we are now saving about 400 billion that we are paying before.
But all this gain, so
now, in spite of all this, we are still borrowing. Look at dollars that we are saying. There was, anyway, unfounded rumor, and there's tendency for all to believe it. That government has just borrowed some billions of dollars
again.
Some people, there is the back and forth. That is true. It's not true. And we know the information we had is that our budget will be financed mostly by borrowing. Now, the 400 billion that we gain, where is it? It means that if we look at this thing critically, there's no serious gain, except maybe few. Because if there is gain, our budget should not be financed majorly by debt, by borrowing. It should be financed by our gain so far. But there's nothing that shows that we are gaining. Because if what Business Day finding shows is something to be relied on, it means that Nigeria is losing by removing subsidy. Because if we are now paying 907 billion or thereabout, now instead of 400 billion, why didn't we just leave it the way it was? And let the fuel remain. Now Nigerians are paying high for fuel. Government is paying high to subsidize. So what is now the gain? So it means that policy has backfired. Unfortunately, it has backfired. Nigeria government is losing. Nigerians are losing.
We are buying with higher price.
And we are buying at higher price. Price of everything has gone up. Inflation has skyrocketed. Yet we are still subsidizing the same fuel that we say we have removed subsidy for. That's number one. Number two, dollar policy. Before, government was fixing dollar rates. Government determined how much dollar would be sold before now. And at that time, dollar was around 400, 450, 400, 450. We're even saying Buhari was not competent. If we have a good president, it shouldn't be as high as that.
Yes.
Now, President Tinubu came. I said what he wanted to do is good.
But at the wrong time.
But it's not the right time. You don't float Naira when Naira has nothing serious thing to gain. We are not producing anything, for God's sake.
There is nothing we are producing.
Nothing. So now, who is buying the Naira? Nobody. You only devalue your currency to gain in the area of exports.